everyone. Welcome to the Guts to Fail. It's October 14th, and it's been a while, but I'm really excited to be back with one of my new favorite people. She is a breath of fresh air. She's amazing. What she does has given me so much confidence in what I do on the daily and where I go and how I dress and how I feel in what I'm wearing. And she just makes me feel confident and look my best online based on a color analysis that she did. So her name is Randa Westermann. She owns the House of Colour Frisco. It is a nationwide franchise that started in England, right?
The UK.
UK. And she lives here in Frisco. And she's a former teacher, GT teacher to be exact. I was a GT teacher as well. I feel like we have the same coloring and we have the same background. So it's really exciting to be talking to someone that you have so much in common with. And I've already experienced what it is that you do for a living. And I want to talk to the people today in Bungalow U and the people who watch this later, just basically about how you got started. You do own a franchise, so it's a little bit different, and the challenges that presents, the bonuses that also gives you when you have a franchise, and how it's all working out, how you got started, what made you want to get into that, and your background. So without further ado, I'm going to let Randa Westermann, House of Colour Frisco, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, well, good morning, and thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. So yes, I am a resident of Frisco. I moved here about 9 years ago from Illinois, and I do have a background in education. I've taught in Kentucky at the School for the Deaf, and also in Illinois, grades K through 4, and even here in Frisco. But a few years ago, I started just looking at my career and thinking about other avenues that I'm really interested in, and thinking about how could I take my ideas from paper and the dreams and the goals that I had and apply that to a different direction. And so I had done a lot of research and came across this really unique company that offers, I feel, very unique services that I feel more and more are very important to people today, because so much of what we do is online and also in meetings and conferences. And it's all about how to know the best color for your skin tone and your hair, so that you will wear clothing and style that fits your body, so that you are authentically yourself. And after a lot of research and going through the interview process and talking to lawyers and figuring out how to create a company and a business plan and an LLC, I launched House of Colour Frisco this past July.
Okay, wow. All right, so I love that. I think you kind of like just really succinctly said all of that. So let's go back and unpack what you were talking about. So you 9 years ago moved from Illinois?
Yes.
What brought y'all to Texas?
So I was just interested in change and looking for a different place to live, and had gone through some loss and different challenges living in Illinois. My son had passed away, and I had gone through a divorce, and I just decided that I could stay where I was at and life would be okay. It would just go on, or I could do something really bold and take advantage of, the life that I've been given and the options that I have, and to do something different. And so I took a very bold step and sold everything, packed up a U-Haul, and moved to Texas.
And how did you pick Texas? Like, what was
so I feel like deep down, I'm really a Southern girl. I feel like I was just born in the wrong state. And so HEB used to have this commercial that said, I'm not from Texas, but I got here as fast as I could. And that's how I feel. And so I always just kind of had an infatuation with Texas. And probably the real reason is that when I was young and like third grade, my very best friend, like your very first true real friend, she moved to Texas, and it was heartbreaking. It was like the first, heartbreak. And so she moved actually to the Plano area, and I just always said we had a plan that we were going to plot and like reconnect, and I would eventually get here. So we didn't quite make it together here at the same time, but I made it as fast as I could.
That's awesome. So are you still friends with her today?
We are, but she lives in Houston, so she moved. So yeah, we talk, but it's that childhood friendship, so it's not quite the same.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so you moved to Texas 9 years ago, and then is that when you started working for Legacy Christian?
No, I went first. I worked for Frisco ISD. So
Okay.
I worked with them the longest. I started out as a sub, and then I worked into a teaching position. And then just after 2020, after we went to online learning, I had the opportunity to leave Frisco ISD and go to Legacy Christian Academy for 1 year.
Okay. Now in Frisco ISD, what school did you teach at, and what?
I taught at Isbell, and I taught second grade, and then I was moved to fourth grade, and then I was moved to third grade. So I had a little experience with all the grades.
Oh, nice. I bet that's one of the reasons you left. I know that you're just like sugarcoating all that, but it is a beating to just be moved from, one curriculum to the next, because it's very different. And then you start getting into STAR testing, grades, and things like that. So it's very, very different between those grade levels. Okay, so fast forward. You just recently finished up your last day at Legacy Christian to go full-time in House of Colour. Tell me about that transition and letting go of a teaching career to make the leap into full-time working for yourself. I've done that. I talk about it till I'm blue in the face, but I feel like if somebody else talks about what that's like, it help.
Well, I think anytime you change something that's familiar and comfortable, it is scary. Especially when you have a career that has some stability. It's not a full stability, but it is. And I just grew to the point where first of all, teaching is a hard job, and you give your all 100%. It's emotional, it's physical, it's everything. And it brings you joy. And I loved being with my students. I just came to a point where I wanted to do something different. I know that there are so many talents and skills that I have, and this is something that you teach as a teacher. You inspire your students to fulfill all the desires of their heart and to go after dreams and to set goals. And so, I know I can teach. I've done that. Check. What else can I do in this lifetime? What else is out there? And I feel I'm growing and learning new skills that I don't think I ever would have tapped into if I had just stayed in education. You're constantly growing and going to professional development and learning to hone your skills and be better. But I just feel like there's a part of you that, or there at least was a part for me, that I just decided I know there is something else. And I'm going to take a leap of faith. I've made big decisions before, and I've just landed on my feet because I think of my faith. And I also have the grit and determination that, how bad can it be if it fails? You can go back to something else. And I feel like I've lived through the worst of what people could go through. And so I've got nothing else to lose.
I love that. I love that perspective. I think that for me, I'm a lot more transparent, I guess, not than you're transparent, but with the financial side of things. You just said that you learn and you grow and you go to professional development. So you can come back to your classroom, and your reward is these kids that are growing and learning and like, ooh, that worked. In small business, you take 10 in a day Facebook.
Mhm.
You do these things, you learn and you grow, and you're rewarded financially. Your wallet gets bigger, your time gets shorter that you're spent, your rate of return on the time that you're spending because you're learning better, more efficient ways. For me, quitting teaching, I also loved my students. I loved the things that we did and the things we accomplished and the recognition that my class was getting and that I was getting as a teacher. But at the end of the day, a pat on the back doesn't really pay for my dreams. And like, I'm going to have a chateau in Aspen and like ski out, and these are big things that I get up in the morning, like, how can I make that work? And I knew that teaching, I could go to professional development all day long, and it would only ever help my students, which I loved. So I got selfish and I'm like, screw this. I love them. I think there's a lot of great teachers in here, but my heart is after big dreams. And my big dreams need a paycheck to support them. So I believed, like you said, how bad can it be? If I fail, I can always just go back to teaching. It's steady. I get a paycheck. I know how to do that. Check, check, check. So what if pushed me to start my own business? Now, the difference between you and I there is I had no idea what the hell I was going to do, but I was going to figure it out. You were like, I am going to do this because I did research and I thought about it. So tell me about the process of getting a franchise, kind of what that looks like. And was there ever a time where you're like, oh, maybe I should turn around and do the other thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So for years, I've kind of kept, well, first of all, I love to write. I have journals and I love to sketch and ideas. And, I get an idea and I'll write it down. And so I have kind of compiled all these books and journals and sketches. And I think it's really telling when you go back, if you take some time and you go back and you read what you wrote a year ago or 5 years ago or 7 years ago. And there seemed to be kind of a thread that was very similar. And it was basically, I know I didn't create this phrase, but someone said, like, design the life that you want and then make it happen. And so I know that I want certain things out of my day. I like the flexibility of, when I get up, even though I love to get up early, but I wanted flexibility so that I could take better care of myself by either walking or working out or, tending to my home, because I love to take care of my home. And so I wanted a job that gave me that kind of flexibility. So that was something. I also want a job where I'm interacting with adults and specifically women, because I feel like there is a skill that I have that I could help other women with. And I know in their busy lives as moms and maybe homemakers or owning their own business, that the skill and the services that I offer, I could improve and help their lives. And so there was an element of wanting to help someone still and use the background of teaching to teach a skill. And so that theme was still there. And also the aspect of, I love, products like skincare and makeup and clothes and all of those things that kind of help an individual and package a person together for their everyday life, whether it is to go to play date with your kids or to go to the grocery store, or you're going somewhere, you're a CEO, you own your own business, whatever that is. And so I wanted to also, there was an element that I wanted to be able to like dress up. As a teacher, you don't really dress up, you do, but there was just certain things about it. So I knew I wanted to look for something that kind of had some of those elements involved in it. And I also am the type of person that even though I follow directions and I can take rules and what we're going to do, there is something about me that also wants to just define my day, my time, and how I'm going to spend it, and not be on a clock that you get 20 minutes here or 10 minutes here. I just wanted the freedom to design what my day would look like.
I love those two words. You said design your life and define your day.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, I'm writing this down because I'm an Instagram post and I'm going to tag you. Design your life. I think, okay, so there's a couple of things. I couldn't write it all down, but defining your day, that's a big thing because it's hard when somebody else doesn't define your day to all of a sudden be in charge of that. Because for me, up until this morning, really, I was like, why do I need to put a bra on? I'm working on the computer. But really and truly, yours is real life style, right?
Yes.
Real lifestyle. And I love that because it's real lifestyle. It's the lifestyle that people really live. And okay, I liken this to, and I don't even know if I have it. Oh, I do. Oh my gosh. How lucky am I? That's clutch. Okay, so I have a Cabby catalog here.
Mm-hmm.
This was a friend of mine. But the first time I ever saw that, I was like, that is not real lifestyle. They put socks on with like heels and stuff, and it just isn't what real people do.
Mm-hmm.
You always look so cute and put together, even if you're wearing a jogging suit. It's the proper color. It's your wow color. It's your better than black. It's your subset. It's your season. It's all the things you teach. And because you just make a shift, that I'm going to wear the red t-shirt instead of the orange one, then you immediately look better. You feel more confident because you're wearing the right color. So at least you got something right. And it just makes it easier to shop and decide when it's like, okay, that's my color. That is not. So I'm going to go with this. It's just simple. You feel like you're doing it right all the time. So what I mean by that is my perception of Cabby was that it was not real lifestyle. And I don't want people to have a perception that because you always look like a beauty queen that we have to as well. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I want you to talk about how your motto is real lifestyle and what you mean by that, and what you told me about if you're a t-shirt and jeans girl, then I want to make sure you're wearing the right color t-shirts and the right cut for your body. That way you look the best you can in your t-shirts and jeans.
Right. And that was another part of like choosing this franchise over something else, because there are other franchises out there that, have an element of fashion and makeup and clothes and all of that. But what I liked about this business model and this philosophy is you are taking very basic, it's based on science. So it's color science. And it's also true, you're working with the architect of your body, the way that God created you and the way that you were born to be. So the measurements, the linear measurements, it's not about weight, it's not about width, it's not about age. It's about what is your personality, what do you personally like, what do you surround yourself with that brings you joy. What do you do in a day? Do you work outside the home? Do you work inside the home? Are you a t-shirt and jeans girl? I am not really a t-shirt girl. I like t-shirts, but I'm going to tuck it, or I don't want a graphic design on it. Other people look adorable wearing a graphic design. And so I chose real life style because I want you to be real to yourself and authentic. I want to tap into your personality and what you like. The life is, we all go through life stuff. Some of us are either getting ready to go through it, we've gone through it, or you're in the middle of it. And so I just feel like women, we all have gone through stuff. I've gone through hard stuff. You've gone through hard stuff. We all go through stuff, and it takes a toll on us. And there's a day that you look in the mirror and you think, this used to work for me. I could do this and it worked. It doesn't work anymore. And so I like to reconnect you back to the things that make you you. And then show you, pick it in a color that really honors your beautiful skin tone and the beauty that you already have. Match it with the architect of your body and show you how to style it. And so that's where that real life style comes in. And I want it to be something that I don't want people to look and think she's not approachable. I want to design you to be a way that you are approachable, that you're visible, you show up, people listen to you, and you feel good about yourself. And when you feel good, you can do more. You are more confident and you have the energy to get all the things done that you want to do for your day.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm writing down a little snip from 1920 to 1933. So Eka later can take that snip and make it your asset so you can post that. Because that was like bottled magic right there. Okay. So, design your life, define your day, and you want to make people show up, stand out, feel their best, show up in a crowd because, oh my gosh, there's so many times that people or that I can tell that I'm wearing something that makes me fidget and you can tell I'm uncomfortable. I'm not as apt to go up to someone because I'm feeling like I'm, drab or look like a grandma or I've got too many ruffles on or my clothes are oversized because I thought that would be cute, and it's just I just am so bad at it that I just need you to tell me, like, "Do this. No. Yes. No. 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 Yes." I just okay, and then throw everything else away. I'm gonna have actually no. You know what you've inspired me to do, and I know I may have already told you this. I'm gonna have a closet sale, and I'm bringing
Right.
it over from the bungalow, bringing it upstairs. I'm going to stand in my bathroom. I'm going to set up my ring light and say, "Okay, guys, are you ready?" And I'm going to sell things for like $1, $2, $3,
Mhm.
and it's going to be fabulous. So,
Yes.
anyways, I'm going to feel good about getting rid of the things that don't work. And I loved when I bought them because I was like, "Oh, that's so cute." It's not right for me.
Well, and one thing I find that women do, and I know that I do it, sometimes when you're in a rut or you're not feeling good about yourself or you need some direction. A lot of times, because social media is huge and it's wonderful, there's a downside to it also. And women of all ages, even though you know better, at the age I know, to not compare yourself, we still live in a world where we compare ourselves to another. So a lot of times, you might get on Instagram and you'll see a cute ad of this really cute model and she'll have on a top or something. And you're like, if I just had that, that's going to fix everything else. And I'm going to get that. And I'm going to feel the way I feel when I look at this. So it arrives, you put it on, you look in the mirror and you realize it doesn't do the same thing that it did for this girl, this model that's been chosen to wear this. So now you play this game with yourself. It's a horrible game. It's a battlefield in our mind. We start to tell ourselves, I must be overweight. I'm too old. I need this, I need that. And you go through a laundry list of things that are wrong with you. But if you just realized that cut was never designed for your body, that color will never enhance your natural, undertones, then you can just say, oh, well, you know what? I know that that's my color. So I'm going to swipe. No, I'm not getting that. And so that's what makes even online shopping or in-person shopping so much easier. I ran into 2 stores yesterday. I was looking for something for the weekend. We're going to go to Arkansas to my husband's hometown to a Razorback game. And it's going to be cold there. It's colder than it is here. And I knew I needed something that was cute. I could wear at a football game. It was comfortable for a car ride. So anyway, I walked into a store and I'm like, there's my color. I tried it on. I knew what my fit was. I know that if I'm going to wear a button down, it needs to have a certain, cut to the sleeve or a cut around the neck. Tried it on. Okay, it worked. I tried another one, realized, oh, it's not as long of a waist that I need. So it makes shopping fast. And so when you have that, you're more likely to not make purchases that you're going to waste money on. And you're going to start loving and appreciating the way you were designed because it's unique. And like, I'm better than that outfit because that's not me.
Right. Okay. So while you're talking, I think, oh my gosh. Okay. Have you ever seen the reels of the boutique owners that have like a girl like all cute in a fashion outfit, but you click it and it's a reel and it says size 12 and a size 2, wearing it in different ways?
Mm-hmm. Right.
What if you and I got together and did a reel, not because we're boutique owners, but because you and I are the same. We're both icy winters, or what do you call that?
Sultry winters. You're a jewel winter and I'm a sultry winter. And all that means is there's certain colors that are like those subsets. All the winter colors look good on both you and I, but certain jewel tones are going to work a little bit better for you. Those are where your wow colors are. A sultry color to me are going to be on the deeper end of the spectrum, like this pine green top. It would still look great on you, but you're going to look better in an emerald green because it's a jewel tone.
Okay. So I get an emerald green, you get the winter green, whatever that's called that you just said. And we do a reel standing side by side, like how, you know, because my style is different than your style. God, my architect, my body architect, texture.
Mm-hmm. Architecture, yeah. And so really, like, I'm short-waisted. I haven't done your measurements yet, so I don't know if you're short-waisted or not. Like, you know, my torso is short. If yours was longer, you know, like right now, really what's popular are those shackets. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like a jacket, but it's a shirt, and it's called a shacket. It's boxy.
I'm gonna look like a really fat person in that.
Well, and it's boxy. It's almost like a field jacket, and it's super popular. And on the right body type, it is adorable, especially if that's your personality. If you like to wear like a more natural flow, you don't want something fitted, that's going to look amazing on you, and you're going to look great. You can go anywhere in it. If I put it on, it looks like I have on my husband's shirt. It doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
And so it makes me look boxy. It makes me look, I'm lost. I look like it's wearing me instead of I'm wearing it. And so, you know, my husband always says, it's the woman that makes the clothes. It's not the clothes that makes the woman. And I always felt like he was saying that. It is a compliment. But I also thought like maybe he just doesn't want me to shop because he wants me to just say, you don't need anything more. You just, all that you need is you. Mm-hmm. But the point that really drives that statement more true is that when you honor you, your color, your personality, and your fit, that's what makes the woman.
Right. I 100%. And now you gave me a whole new idea. So go get the same darn shacket.
Yeah.
I need a shacket. Okay. We're gonna go pick up a couple of shackets and in our colors, and we are going to show how it doesn't work on every body. But then you give us alternatives where we're going to go like that. And then all of a sudden, since you know how to make reels now, we're going to be like in the right fit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, oh my gosh, that would be so amazing.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yes, that would be content that the other houses of color will be like, ooh, I need to do that too. They're going to to do it with them, but whatever. Okay. So we have about 3 more minutes. So you feel like you were born Southern.
Yeah.
Your grit and your faith have gotten you to where you're at right now. I would like to talk to you a little bit for 3 minutes. Let's talk about how your background as in beauty pageants, right? Your teaching, how those life experiences. We know about the loss of Brock and your son, and how that inspired you to live the best life that you can for him. Mm-hmm. And when you experienced that loss and went through a divorce, you were no longer tied to Illinois. And you're like, well, I can now redesign my life. And so you came to Texas. And talk about those two elements of not so much teaching, but maybe both of them, the pageants and that, and how those have kind of helped you in what you're doing now.
So briefly, so on the pageants, I did that when I was in high school and college. You know, the Miss America system is an amazing organization for women. It does give lots of scholarship money out to women. And through that, I think I learned some really important life skills. I learned how to set goals. I learned how to put a timeline to a goal and to work towards a goal. And those, and there's other, you know, techniques in just preparing. I realized that part about the pageant that I liked the most was the prep work, the preparing for it, the planning and the dreaming and getting ready for it. Getting on stage and the actual competition of it was not really my favorite part. My favorite part was getting to meet the other girls and becoming friends and planning and prepping. But through all that planning and preparation, you know, I learned also that you learn by hiring coaches and people that are going to help you be better and to present yourself. And so from that, I feel like I learned a lot of life skills. I feel like maybe with the exception of this one, I usually get offered at most jobs I interview for because I feel like I interview well, and I learned that through pageants. And also I learned the power of positive thinking and just the competition itself. My grandpa told me, you know, to be a gracious winner, you've got to be a gracious loser first. And I don't like to use the term win and lose, but what he meant was you're not going to always be, number one. And my mom taught me that you could take the same panel, you could take a totally different panel of people and you could perform exactly the same way and there would be a different outcome. So that helped me realize that it's more about me and the preparation and the planning and seeking and just having fun than really weighing what did they say about me. So that, I think, also helped me have big dreams and to think about things outside of just being a teacher. I came from a family of educators, so they all just kind of groomed me to be a teacher. My dad said, if you're going to get married and have children, you need to be a teacher. It's the best job. So I didn't really have any other options. I didn't know of other things until I got out in the real world and went to college and moved away. And there my eyes were open that there's other things to do. So that's where that seed was planted, that when I get done with teaching, I'm going to do A, B, and C.
Yes.
Yeah. So my son was, my everything and just the light of my life. And the best title in the world I ever had was being Brock's mom. And so losing him was very difficult. And you go through depression and you become paralyzed because your identity is associated with being a mom. And after, many years of just really doing nothing and just really falling apart, I just realized that there's got to be more in life. I'm not doing a service to him or anyone else by just wallowing and staying put. And like I already said, I had nothing to lose. And so everyone thought I was crazy, but I knew that there was something else out there and I was going to take a leap of faith. And so I packed everything up and I moved to Texas, and it really has turned out to be a great decision. I met my husband, and I've met you, and I've met other people, and it's just, I really believe that this business is going to utilize all the skills and dreams that I have to help other people fulfill the dreams and purposes of their life.
Yeah. Wow. I love that. And I love how, one thing that comes through with you, and I know we're just slightly over, I apologize. The thing that comes through with you the most, and what I led with when I was telling everyone I knew about you the last few weeks, is she is so authentic and genuine, and what you offer that seems like so surface at the onset, like, oh, hair, makeup, colors, looking wow colors. It does so much for you on the inside. It saves so much time, but it does so much for me, people like me. I think that I don't think there's many of them that don't know, have anxiety shopping. I always put everything back. I would prefer to buy something at a boutique, even if it's wrong, but because I know I'm supporting a friend down here that has a small business. But supporting you in helping me is a no-brainer. Everybody, man, woman, young adult, especially, I think if I had known this a lot longer ago, I'd be further than I am, just because I base all of my confidence on, if I just don't eat today, maybe I'll lose two pounds. Yeah. But really, I could go to Ross Dress for Less, look down the aisle for a couple of my wow colors, and know that it fits. If I just pick one thing that's the right fit and the right color, it doesn't matter what I weigh. I look and feel my best when I'm confident in what I'm wearing. So you have done so much more for me than you even realize. And I cannot wait to hear you on the art and science of the color analysis and looking and feeling your best online at DFW Social Media Marketing, 6 to 8 on Monday. It's $7. It includes pizza, drink, our speaker, and an hour of networking. So if you want more information, reach out via the comments later on. I'm so appreciative of you, Randa, and I hope you have a wonderful time in Razorback country wearing all those cute clothes you texted me that I want to go buy right now. So that's one good thing, is she'll text you things in your color that she sees out in the wild, and you can go run and get it because it's for you. So anyways,
thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.